Today I'm really live, so if let's say you're watching live, give me a hashtag live and give me a hashtag replay and tell me which city you're watching from. I know it is something like an odd hour. I never really go live at this hour because it's like 5 p.m. in Malaysia. But then for some of my friends, oh well, from the States, all right, it will be your 5 a.m. So you will probably catch up this replay, right? Okay, so today I want to talk about this special book that I just finished recently. But before I do that, let me just check about whether you guys can hear me or not. One of the key mistakes that I made is that I didn't do sound check right. So if let's say up until this point you can hear me, please give me a hashtag yes so that I know, right? Is that I didn't do sound check right. Okay, perfect. I think that you guys can hear me. Okay, so what is the book that I have been like reading recently and what I felt about it? Okay, I'm just going to show you guys. If let's say you follow through my Facebook Live last week, I told you guys that recently I've been picking up my book reading habit 30 minutes per day, and I've been like persistent for the past 3 weeks, and I'm super proud of myself because it's something like it has been inside me. If let's say I don't read per day for 30 minutes, I'll feel really uneasy. So this is the book that I've been reading recently. I don't know whether you guys heard about it. It's called oh I'm really using this app. So this is called 13 Things Mentally Strong People Do Not Do. Okay. So it is by Amy Morin. I hope that I pronounced the author's name correctly. Hi, Pauline, and hi, Wei Sheng. Okay, I absolutely love this book because it's such an easy read and it also filled with a lot of different storytelling so that it actually led me to be able to grasp the concept of the books very easily. So I'm just going to dive into the top 3 things that I love about this book after I show you guys this. Okay, so all right, guys, welcome back. So if let's say you haven't joined my Facebook group, remember to join at www.amazingstory.co. What are the 3 tips that I really love about this book? Actually, they have 13 things that mentally strong people do not do right. I absolutely love them all, but I want to actually talk about some that kind of like, oh my god, hit me hard. I was like, I wish I read this book much earlier. So it's actually even the chapter number 1. Okay, so chapter number 1 is called They Don't Waste Time Feeling Sorry for Themselves. Mentally strong people don't waste time feeling sorry for themselves. Why I said it hit me so hard is that about 2 years ago, like I think about 2 to 3 years ago, I don't think that I'm in this kind of state that I'm able to talk to you guys about what am I doing so excitedly. About 3 years ago, I was in another business of mine, and I felt like I constantly feel sorry for myself. Like I felt sorry that because I don't have like a very really awesome business model, I feel sorry that because I'm in a the industry that is very different from others. And then I felt like I was in a state that I constantly complaining. And I did not realize that after about a year later on, where I am in a better state in my life. I didn't even realize that I was feeling sorry for myself back then. And I complained a lot about the things that I wish it did not exist. And when I complain about the things that I wish it did not exist, actually, I didn't realize that I am the source of the responsibility. I have the power of choice to make changes anytime, but I chose to do a lot of different complaining because I thought like, you know what, I keep on putting myself in a position that I am in a victim position. Okay, why is this like being so powerful is that whenever we feel sorry for ourselves, one um one thing is that we are putting ourselves as a victim. When you feel like you are being victimized, right? Maybe you have like one of the point of time, whether it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be in business related, okay? It can be in your personal life or in your relationship. When you are constantly feeling that you are the victim, you are being victimized, you'll feel helpless, right? Because you are the victim. You feel like the environment, the circumstances, or other people or other things in your life do that to you, and you feel helpless that you don't have a chance to change. You don't have a power of choice. So that's the danger of when you are feeling sorry for yourself. When we how we should actually stop feeling sorry for ourselves. I don't want you to actually deny that you have the feeling, right? Of course, we are all human beings, right? But then what you can do instead is that you have to be aware of your thoughts. Okay, yes, this thing happened to your life. You felt sorry to yourself. You felt like you are a victim. um we can't actually control what other people do to us or what other circumstances do to us, but that is one thing that we can pick to react differently is actually our reaction, our attitude, our perception as to how we interpret the incident, right? For example, the pandemic is a very great example. I couldn't believe it that the pandemic actually changed how I think about life, how I think about business. I if let's say I was in the state about 2 to 3 years back and this pandemic hit me, I would strongly feel like I'm the victim of everything. Things can't move and everything. But then I am very lucky that I start picking up courses like about 1 year ago, or like 1 to 2 years ago, like this point of time, right? I was in a better state. Then only I realized, like, oh my god, June, like, what did you do to yourself like 3 years ago, where why are you constantly putting yourself as a victim in relationship, in business, in personal life? I i i really like, oh my god, I wish I knew that or I learned that. But I guess everything in life comes to us at the right time, right? So there shouldn't be anything that, oh my god, I wish that I knew that back then. You wouldn't know that because you kind of like need to go through different mistakes, or you need to go through different phases in your life. Then only you'll realize that. So that's why I really absolutely love this chapter one. That's got me sucked into finishing this book in a week time, right? During my walking session in the lunchtime, right? Okay, so what is the what you should do is that, remember, when something hit you hard, um, you can feel sorry to yourself just for a while, just for a while. But then later on, change your thinking, right? Change how you view the circumstances, change your perception, right? Stop feeling that you are a victim, but take control, choose how you respond to the circumstances. That will be the tip number one. Okay, tip number two. This is absolutely I'm someone, okay, just tell you guys, I'm someone who easily like worry about things. So basically, one thing that that's chapter four, right? They say is about um they don't focus on things they can't control. Okay, as usual, I know that June, I know this, right? Why are you keep on telling me that things that I already know? Okay, one thing that is fun about book reading, or one thing that is fun about learning new things, is that we all know this, but we kind of like need someone to tell a story and remind us of the things that we already learned, right? So one thing that I learned is that a lot of times we constantly worrying about things that we have no control over. And to be honest, it is also one of the way that you give your power away, right? Because when you worry so much about this is going to work, or is that is going to work? What is going to happen tomorrow? What is going to happen like in the future if this and that happen? When you worry too much, there will be always two situations. The first situation is things that you have control, right? Things that you have control is pretty easy. Like for example, I'm worried that I will be very unhealthy. So yeah, I worry about that. So what should I do instead? I should exercise. I worry that I don't actually improve much, right? So what should I do instead? I should actually read more books, attend courses, right? So these are things that we have control. However, what are things that we have no control over? Like I assume that I have a lot of friends from Malaysia. We have no control over how the pandemic is going to transform, right? We have no control over what are the new policies that our government is going to implement. We can try our best to prevent it, but then all of these things, the macro environment, what is happening in the outside world we have no control over. So that's why whenever you feel like you are having anxiety, due to something that is happening, that has happened in your life, or you are feeling worried, so let's think about what are things that you are worrying right now. Jot that down, okay? After you jot down, I want you to actually think about it. Do you have control over the situation that you're worrying? And what is the worst case scenario that could have happened? Because most of the time, why we worry is just because of the uncertainty. If let's say in your mind, you are very certain about the worst case scenario, the next thing that what you can do is that I want you to attach a probability that this worst case scenario, how probable, like what is the possibility that it will happen? Like maybe is it 10%? Is it 5%? Or actually it's only like contribute 1%. When you have a better clarity in your brain, you thought about a worst case scenario and you thought about this worst case scenario, the probability of going to happen is just about 2%. Then you'll be like, oh my God, I'm worrying about something that maybe it's not going to happen. And even if it happened, the consequences of the worst case scenario is not too bad as well, where I already have like the probably solutions, right? The possible solutions, right? So that's why it will actually reduce your anxiety, and that's where you're able to focus your energy on things that you're able to control. Does it make sense to you? So that's the second thing that I really love about this book. And the third thing, it's about what is that? Let me think. They don't give up after the first failure. Oh my God, I can relate so much about this recently. Okay, because you know what? I've been like dabbling in Facebook ads recently. It's some place that, oh my God, I know that you need data, you need kind of like a lot of trial and error to make it work. Facebook is really something that is very challenging, but I'm committed to myself that I'm going to make that work, right. I can relate so much when I talk about this. They don't give up after their first failure. Is that I've been doing the Facebook ads recently, and to be honest, it's not easy and it's not cheap. So that's why I was on the verge of giving up. But because I read this book, is like they don't give up on first attempt. Yeah. It is not even a failure when I don't think that it's working. I managed to buy data from Facebook to tell me what things didn't work. Right? So that's why whenever you feel you face any challenges in life, remember that a lot of times that you kind of like failure is not like the worst thing that happens in your life. It is more about it's a feedback that what thing works and what things didn't work. So what you need to do is just to learn from the feedback and make sure it works. Right? So that's I know it sounds like cliche, June, you're just telling me fluff that I already know. But then these are the things that I realize that is so powerful, and I absolutely love this book. If let's say you are in the following state that maybe recently you constantly feel like you have a lot of anxiety, or you constantly feel like you're worrying about things, or you feel like you need something that fit into your brain, I absolutely will recommend this book. And what else? Oh yeah, one thing that I really love is also they said they don't fear taking calculated risks. Yes, this one I can relate so much about it. I want to talk about this story where actually a lot of us, we know what we should do. Like for example, I'm just going to give you an example, right? Most of you guys know me through Facebook Live, right? Maybe some of you guys, you have your own business, you are coaches, you own your you have a coaching program, or maybe you're a service provider, you build funnels for your clients, right? We all have different businesses in our life. We all know that we need to invest in marketing, paid ads, right? Or all know that we should do video, because video build our authority, and video makes us able to connect with our audience much faster to build a trust. We all know that. But let's think about it. Why not everybody is doing the things that they know they should do? Let's think about it. When was that? What was the event that happened to you recently that you kind of know you need to do, but then you decided that you are not going to do it because in your mind you feel like, oh my God, I'm not going to take that risk. Like, what if fail? What if this happened and what if that happened? Do you have this recent moment? If let's say you have, give me a hashtag yes down below. So I'm just going to take a sip of water while I'm waiting. Where's my water? Okay, I forgot to bring my water to. Oh my God, I forgot to bring it. Okay, so it's fine. Later on, I'm just going to show you because today I'm really doing a live, right? So I'm going to show you guys around of my mini studio that I do today after my arrival of my lighting. This is my lighting. Okay, so yeah, let's come back to the topic that I told you guys just now. Why are we not doing that? The things that we know we need to do, whether it's maybe you need to invest in ads, or whether you know that you need to do video, or maybe you know that you need to like create a TikTok channel, but then you just never do it, right? The reason is very simple. The reason is the fear of uncertainty, the fear of the risk. You are afraid of you risking your time or risking the efforts that you spend on something that is not ever going to bring any return. You are not doing something because of the fear of the risk, because the fear of the uncertainty of the outcome, the fear of the feeling of discomfort, right? So I can tell you guys why I relate to this is because it remembers me back to the point where 1.5 years ago when I want to start my Facebook Live. I know it's something that I wanted to do even for my first video, but then I was like very hesitant about starting it. I chatted with so many of my students, amazing challenges as well as our family in Amazing Lab Academy. We all kind of like experienced the same thing where, you know what, there is a leap of something that you kind of like need to jump. It's just like you're at a cliff. When you want to jump from the cliff to the sea to swim, to the ocean to swim, at this point of time, it's a leap that you need to take. And usually people don't take this leap is because they are afraid of there is something down there. They are not knowing what to expect. That's the reason why they do not take any actions, right? So probably you are thinking about doing something you haven't done yet. You are at here. Okay, so back to you. This is the thing? Okay, so yesterday I got this question. She asked me, my friend, she invited me to join her interview show. She asked me, June, how would you be sure that? She said that she has been following me for some time, for about a year. She's like, oh my God, like amazed with the things that I'm doing, right? So she asked me, how are you certain that you are going to launch your academy and your amazing challenge and knowing that it will work? And decided to start it. To be honest, that's a great question. The reasons that she asked it is because she's not sure what to expect, but she know that this is one thing that she wanted to do. She just haven't done it because she's unsure about this risk she's taking. Is it worth it? Am I maybe not going to receive any returns afterwards? So my reply to her, I told her, actually, I wasn't sure that. I'm not sure whether it will be a success of the amazing challenge that we put off before I done that. And right now we are actually entering into the season 4. We are starting tomorrow and we are closing in less than 24 hours. So if let's say you guys, just a little bit commercial here. So if let's say you guys want to complete 7 videos in 1 week time, right? I have helped more than 50 students of mine, and then they are all beginners. They are all not knowing what to say in the very beginning, but then we all completed 7 videos in 1 week time through the amazing challenge. So if let's say you guys want to join, feel free to go to www.amazingchallenge.us. So back to this topic that my friend asked me. I told her that I wasn't even sure that it's going to be a success, that people will be joining. I was like, oh my God, what if no one signed up to trust me? I was very afraid that no one is going to sign up the amazing challenge when I try to put out the first season, because there are a lot of efforts that you need to put in order to put out a challenge, or there are a lot of efforts you need to put in order to come up with an academy like our Amazing Lab Academy. We have to do a lot of hard work before we can see a result. But did I not do it? I was afraid as well. I was like, there is a risk that maybe I put in all my time and all my resources, and what if no one sign up? But I asked myself this question, which helped me a lot. So I want to help you as well, right? So if let's say I've been thinking that, ask yourself this question. If you do not do this thing that you always wanted to do today or this year or next year, you're just not going to do it. 5 years later or 10 years later, will you ask yourself, oh my God, I wish that I tested it much earlier. Oh my God, I wish that someone just pushed me to do it much earlier. Will you regret it? That's the question that you'll be asking. Because at the end of the day, it is not that we are going to regret about the things that we do. Usually, we regret about the things that we do not do because we constantly will think like, oh my God, what if I have done that? Like, would I be in a different milestone? Or what if I done that? Would I be in a different places? You will wonder when you don't do a thing that you always wanted to do. But after you have done that, the outcome, of course, not everything will be going to be a success, right? The outcome, there's only two. One is that, yay, it's successful, good for you, right? You took a risk and it's working out for you, and yes, that's a very good feeling. The second scenario, it can be like, okay, you try it, you have done it, it's either not working for you or you didn't like it, and people link that directly to failure, which is not true. It is just feedback to tell you, you know what? Today I just found about a thing that I didn't like. Yeah. I mean, that's life, right? You have to experience different things in life to know what you love and what you didn't love. It's just like when we were kids, we love to experience a lot of stuff, right? When maybe you are like 2 or 3 years old, like if let's say you are a parent, perhaps you can relate. Your child will be like so curious about every single thing. Your baby will be like so curious about every single thing. When they see a kettle, like it's damn hot, they will want to touch, right? But then there will be two scenarios. After they touch it, they'll be like, oh my God, it's hot. Do not touch it late next time. Or the other scenario is like, oh my God, it's fun to touch a hot kettle. It's fun to touch. But will a baby or a child ever question that, you know what? I'm very curious about it. Should I touch it or not? They'll probably just do it first. And then based on the feedback that they get after touching it, after doing it, based on the feedback that they get, they will then decide it later on. Oh my God, you know what? It's hot. Kettle. No. You should label no. It's something that I do not love it. So back to you. I want this live to be able to like not it's actually not a message just for you guys. It's a message just for me as well. Like I also have my fear of, you know what, June, should you do it? Should you not do it? Then whenever I'm at this crossroad, I'll ask myself this question. Okay, so you are hesitating whether to do it or not do it. Most likely it's because your heart asks you to do it. Your brain asks you no because you have a lot of different uncertainty, a lot of risks that you need to take. Like what if this and what if that, right? So ask yourself this question. If let's say you do not do it today, tomorrow, next year, next 5 years, will you regret in the future by asking yourself, I should have done that much earlier so that I know that maybe I love it or maybe I don't. Okay, so that's the main key takeaway that I want. I hope that this session is something that is able to help you guys. So if let's say you've been absolutely love the golden nugget, give me a hashtag golden nugget down below so that I know that you guys loving this episode so far. And of course, I I absolutely love this book. So if let's say you are in the state that you wish that you want to fit into your brain, I absolutely will suggest this book. It's called 13 Things Mentally Strong People Do Not Do. It's a very fast read and I absolutely will recommend it. And if let's say you are someone who I mentioned to you before, you have been thinking that you want to start your own YouTube channel, or you have been thinking that you want to do a live video, able to talk nonstop, just like June over in a live video. I literally did not prepare anything much, but I can do that is not because I'm naturally born with it. It's not because I'm talented with it. It's because that I have been doing this for the past, 1.5 year. Things come natural to me. That's why able to do video and able to be comfortable in front of camera and able to know what to talk in front of camera is a learnable skill. Everybody can learn. I have watched my students from not fearing to be in front of the camera, not knowing what to say, to become like so pro right now. Some of them, I think they are even better than me in the video, right? But it's really an amazing family that we are having in an amazing challenge. So if let's say you're someone that I speaking just now, so we are starting this 7 day amazing video challenge starting from tomorrow. It's a 7 day amazing live video challenge that a lot of you guys actually ask me like, oh my god, June, I'm so nervous not knowing what to say. Don't worry, I got you covered. You don't even have to prepare a single thing when joining a challenge. All you need to do is just to give me about 15 minutes to 20 minutes per day. I will actually guide you daily and mentor daily. You don't even have to think about logistic problem. You don't have to think about what to say. You got nervous and everything because I've got you covered. All right. So if let's say you're trusting our processes, we are using these processes called MAP system, MAP, mindset, answer, and also presentation. This system works very well for my part, for my X challenges, and also our amazing family as well. If this sounds like something that you want to try, right? So taking risks is scary, right? But it's okay to take calculated risks. If let's say you have done that, maybe you absolutely love it and get addicted to it. Or maybe you don't. Then you know that you don't, right? So feel free to actually join our 7 day amazing challenge at www.amazingchallenge.co. We are actually closing the registration in about, I think, less than 24 hours or 12 hours. I lost count. So remember, we are starting this challenge tomorrow, and it's a super duper safe environment for you to do Facebook Live. Is because we are all going to do it in a private Facebook group where all of us, almost all of us, we are just like you, starting out new, beginner, nervous, not feeling confident in front of camera, not feeling comfortable as well. But then you know what? We all hashtag, we all afraid about it, but we all decided to face the fear. Because one thing that changed after I started doing Facebook Live is that, to be honest, Facebook Live is something that I dreaded to do like last time. But after I've done the Facebook Live, I was like, you know what? If let's say I'm able to face this fear, to be in front of the camera, to show to the world what I've been doing recently, I can literally do anything. So that's why I want to share this with you guys. I actually back then I also have this kind of fear, right? So that's why I actually printed a book. It's actually a photo book. Oh, I don't know whether you guys can see it. It's actually a photo book of me where I printed all of my achievement. Um, I wanted to remind myself, June, you can do it. And I even ended I even ended with like you can do anything. You can be, sorry, I think it's a bit blur, right? You can do anything, you can be anything you want to be, as long as you believe in yourself and work hard. So this is one thing that I did for myself, um to remind myself that I can do anything. And then after I have this one, right, then I have fun that you guys, some of you guys probably got this book and course for me. It's called Climbing Machine. So it's also, I got it, we actually have this in ebook format when you buy it. I got it also in printer format. And then after that, I was like having too much fun. I actually have this book, The Art of Closing Deals Faster. I have my friends asking me, oh my god, June, I want a copy. No, it's not up for sale because I want to, this one is like, I promised myself, June, you are going to have at least one book in 2020. I want you to write a book in 2020. So what I did is that I have been doing a lot of different Facebook Live about closing deals, right? And then I have some of the golden nuggets being summarized inside here. And instead of video, I repurpose them and become a wording. And then I separate into different chapters. So at least I can say, yay, June, you have done it. But then it's always my goal to be able to write, to become an author of a book. And I haven't thought about what kind of topic I'm going to talk about in the book, but this is definitely in my planning in the future. So as promised, I told you guys that I'm going to show you guys my setup today, right? Okay, so I got this. Can you guys see that? I actually, right now in my room, it's dark. I have like beside me, there's this light with a soft box that I just newly invested. And then if let's say you guys can see at the back here, there's a backlight. Okay, why do we have this lighting? No, this lighting is that without this, I will be blending together with the background. So that's why this light, that light that I showed you guys just now was to shoot it on my head so that I was clearly being separated from the background. Okay, and then at my back, as usual, there's a piano where I usually on different color. So this is my setup, different setup for like today. And also I'm using this M Audio microphone. So if let's say you guys love my setup today, it's the today lighting is more like a softer. So because I used to have this lighting where it is really hard on my face, which I absolutely don't love it. So that's why I watched some YouTube video and I decided to try a soft box. And so far today is my second day using it. Whether I love it, but I wish it can be smaller. So maybe next time, whenever I do even more videos, I will then upgrade to a slightly smaller kind of like soft box. Okay, so that's my plan, and I hope that you guys been loving this episode so far. And remember, if let's say you haven't joined our Facebook group, remember to join our Facebook group at www.amazingstory.co, and I will see you in our 7-day amazing challenge at www.amazingchallenge.us. Okay, and hashtag face the fear. And see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.